Here we go.
I'm just waiting for it to appear for me.
Ready. We'll let the delightful weirdos make their way in. Oh.
It's weird.
What was weird?
Unmute.
You might be hearing my phone.
No, they can hear us on the stream.
Yeah, the mics are hot.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, like I said, like just let it vibe for a few minutes. Sorry, I didn't make that good. No, that's my bad. That's my B. It's all good.
Oh no, I thought there was like a little lead-in bit because I could hear a bit of music and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, just But look, a lot of the previous episodes have been like silence for about 5 minutes and then everything kicks in. So I figured there's no real reason to just let the preamble also be live and just vibe for a few minutes and then kick into it proper. There's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
I call it a pre-show. It's a little. I'm gonna guess that was a follow. I've never fucking heard that sound before in my life.
No, Dolly is a friend of mine. He's raided you.
Oh,
only with the party of one. I think it's just him.
I mean, hey, first raid, I'll take it.
It was a raid. There we go. Dolly, you've taken the virginity.
Oh, for fuck! I knew you were gonna say it, and yet it's still there. Mm-hmm. Cool. That's immortalized forever. Thank you.
There we go. That's awesome. Not the first time. Sorry, it's your chat. I shouldn't be reading out.
No. Look, I'm scrambling to pull the chat up on a separate device. Honestly, that's a help in and of itself.
Okay. How you doing, Dolly? You good? Hey, a few people. Welcome to the dulcet tones of my voice. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hello. We're here.
Indeed. We are.
Hello, Maury.
Here we go. Got a follow from them earlier. Thank you. Appreciate it. Any support is good support, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I've been very lucky with mine. I've got some amazing people who have supported me since the start. So, and then there's second streams are the way forward, and I can't believe I'm missing out on our gaming date as you are a big deal, Steve. Fuck off. So, but when we've done with the stream, I will be free for a bit of DMZ death on it because we're bad. I'll tell you what, this coffee was definitely needed.
Yeah? Is it just like regular black coffee? Like, what do you got kicking around there?
No, I've got Costa Rican dark.
Ooh.
It's meant to be really strong, but it's not. But I've got a cafetiere that I was given for Christmas by the in-laws about 3 years ago. I don't really use it. And I should. So, but yeah. Still.
Yeah, I've very much gotten into hazelnut coffees with a little bit of chocolate powder in there.
Very nice.
It's good. I need to stop drinking coffee as much as I do. It's I'm starting to drink it more than I drink soft drink, and that's also something I'm trying to cut out. So it's not good, but it's good.
I'm just going to point out, Yeti has an I in it.
Oh, fuck off! You know I don't read.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll edit it later. It's fine.
No, it's all good. I'll change my name. Oh dear.
It's my favorite response, I'm not gonna lie. It's just fuck off, you know I can't read. It's the best.
Yes, this is true. I'm checking everything for spelling mistakes now.
Yeah, I expected that.
Nah, it looks fine. It all looks good. Oh dear. How's everyone in chat doing? Are you all okay? Ryan?
Yeah, for some reason, it's still reading as one person in chat for me, which is probably really wrong.
It is wrong, yeah. It is wrong, yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to try and refresh this.
You can't read Stave. Fuck. Yeah, I know, Dolly, I know, I can't. But everyone thinks I'm pretty, so that's all that matters. I use my looks to get by. Helen's got the brains, I've got the looks. No, she's got the looks as well. I've got something. I've got a tight ass. That's what I've got. That's what I bring to the table. I have a phenomenal posterior.
I'm willing to believe you.
Well, I'm sure there are people in chat who will back me up on that one. It's weird watching, and you are hung like a church mouse. Not that big. Jeez, that's a phenomenal one. That is. I wish I was that big. It's very good. Just jobbing on in the workshop, listening to you, the dulcet tones of your voices. Wow, yes. I mean, my voice is so nasally and pinched. It sounds like I've got my head up Dolly's ass at the moment. It's so tight. Nah, that's a lie. Dolly's got a really loose ass.
There it is.
So he can't sit on a stool properly because it ends up inside him.
Lord.
Is it too early for this sort of chat? Well, no, I suppose it's what, 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock.
No,
for you,
it's
isn't
not
it?
too early. It's not too early. If anything, you've got me in a good loopy mood. It's fine.
So it's what time over there? It's what, 7 p.m?
Just gone past 7, yeah.
Just gone past 7, yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be brilliant.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I mean, it's midday, and then I'm going to jump on play some games with Dolly and shoot some people in the face.
Neat.
Oh, promotions from a thing. Congratulations, Steve. You have won. Delete.
So happy I don't
100% beer o'clock.
Great.
Oh, I still do. So yeah, it is beer o'clock. I would be tempted to have a beer.
Yeah,
to be honest, I've got that good old Scottish lager, Foster's, in the fridge. Scottish. See, I said Scottish, not Australian.
Yeah, I know.
If I was going to drink Australian, I'd be drinking VB.
Yeah, so, right. Fair enough. Yep, more acceptable. Yep.
Yeah, so we get it. We have a pub chain over here called Walkabout, which is a terrible pub chain.
It's unfortunate because it's a nice name.
It is. It's a good name, but they sell Victoria Bitter in it, which is really nice. So, well, compared to a lot of our beers anyway. But yeah, there is one drink that we have over here that you don't have, called Forged Stout.
Mm-hmm.
You just made me sick in my mouth mentioning Walkabout. Sorry, darling. I know. I know. It's really strange because you go in there and you have a hamburger, or you have a kangaroo burger, or you have a crocodile burger, and it's all the same.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's literally all the same.
Yeah, it's just half-assed meat in a bun.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or it is just half-ass meat in a bun.
Yep.
It's a setup from Spoons. Might as well be, Maury. Might as well be. It's really, really bad.
Mm.
So, And it's a low step, criminally low. So, but still, I'm enjoying our LARP chat. At the moment,
it's fine. It's preamble. Well. This is fucking preamble. It's fine. I don't give a shit.
That's fine.
It's fine. Look,
preamble.
Look. If I really wanted to fucking not give a shit, I'd just go grab the strong Irish whiskey I've got sitting in the other room, which I really shouldn't touch right now. That would be a very bad idea.
Yeah, don't touch it. You need to wait. This is a LARP chat. What is LARP?
What is LARP? What is life?
Lubed anal receptacle pocket. I'm glad I killed chat. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. I think this must be... Hello, Joe. This must be why I don't get invited onto other people's streams.
Mayhaps. Okay, which is weird because you're not this all about it in your own. In your own streams, you're like very like fine, fairly like normal. Whereas in anyone else, you're like no, everything has to be all over the walls, no fucking filter.
Yeah, that's literally it's the greatest place to be. What time to join the stream? Hello, Jazz. I would say this: if you can, Jazz, how much would it cost for you to send stuff? Long arm rectal plunger. That's a good one. I like that.
That's much better than what you came up with. Yours was shit.
Yeah, that is. That's much better. But Pete's a lot better at this sort of stuff than me. Jazz, how much would it cost for you to send your stuff down to Australia? Do you know? Or have a rough idea? No, Jazz. This is me being serious now. I know it's a shock. Jazz is a incredibly talented jewelry maker. Well, she's an amazingly talented like miniature maker, but she makes a lot of jewelry and things like that. So I put a picture of like a bone and skull necklace thing that I wear. And it's insane. It's insane how talented she is. So I should put a link up to her Etsy. About 13 to 16 quid back when I used to send minis there. Okay, but I'd be tempted to get some made and some stuff made, and I'd send you, and I'll have a chat with Jazz, and we'll send you out a box of goodies.
Aw, appreciate that.
Because that would be well, we would have to sit down and have a look at your nations and things like that, and we'll send out a little bit of a care package, so some people can have some bits of jewelry and stuff like that. And hopefully it'll mean that Jazz will get some trade from you lot down there, which would be really cool.
Yeah, so, we can see what happens.
We'll have to have a chat, Jazz. We'll get something sorted. See if we can get a box going. Someone called Coco Monk.
Oh, so that is Tim. This is the bastard that writes all the rules. This is
hello,
this
bastard
asshole.
Tim.
Love this guy. I love Tim.
Bastard Tim.
No, genuinely, I love Tim. I love all the team. They're all really, really good folk.
Just listening in while I work out. So that means different things over here. I'm not going to go into it though. Not yet, anyway. Give me 20 minutes.
God, I fucking love you. Such a good egg.
Oh dear. Well, funny enough, Concord came up we were talking about Concord at E4, funnily enough. And there's a load of us who were chatting about looking at... No, it wasn't at E4. It was at the gathering, the Epic Armory gathering that I was at. So, have you heard of Epic Armory?
Yes, of course.
So, they invited me to go out to stream the whole thing.
I watched it.
Obviously, everybody in the world watched. And I was having a chat with Avi, who runs a load of stuff in Australia. He's like an outlet for them as well.
Yeah.
But he does his own stuff. He is such a nice guy. I adore that man. Self-admitted bastard. Skirmishes don't kill too many folks.
That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah. We could send Reaper smut to Oz. It's just an idea. We could send you our porn from Empire.
I don't believe we have some amounts of content guideline to that kind of thing, but I don't think they're dissimilar to your own. So probably,
none of it's nude.
Well,
None of it's nude.
I trust you. I trust.
It's all tastefully done. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but it's
actually,
all tastefully done.
Yeah, although you could just send me a bunch of nude shit and I wouldn't even know until it was too late.
Yeah, so much bestiality.
It'd be fucking great though. It would be very funny.
But yeah, we could have. Yeah, we'll see about getting an Empire care package sent out, because it could be quite interesting. Make a notice board and you could pin it all up. It's like, why is there so many arses about? Well, no, it's not just arses. Why are there so many arses and boobs here? But it's all tastefully done. There's no actual nudity. Mm-hmm. It's all, it's very good.
Oh, well, actually, sorry.
Very, very
I should be honest. Someone does have tentacle-based smut, but that's a different thing.
Wow. Yeah, but do they have the March's potato-based smut, or I should say vegetable-based smut?
No, but you don't have pickle smut like we do.
I don't know if I want it.
You don't.
To be honest,
you don't. It's pickled brain parasites.
Oh right, there we go then.
And pineapples. Pineapples are plenty.
Pineapples.
Yep, love pineapples. Yep. Rip Lorenzo.
Oh dear.
Pineapple headmaster.
Pineapple. You had someone in Concord called Lorenzo.
Yep. I think it was Lorenzo. Am I thinking the right name? I think I am thinking the right name. I'm pretty sure.
Did he die?
Yep.
Must be a Lorenzo thing, because we have a Lorenzo and they died as well. Did yours deserve it?
I don't know.
Oh, ours did.
I don't believe he did. I believe he was one. I think he was one of the good eggs.
Okay. Love the March's favourite Empire nation. They are good. They are very, very good. They're going through a bit of a transition at the moment. As a nation, they've grown. They've almost doubled in size, and they seem a lot more organised. The groups are a lot more interested in plot and getting stuff done, because the Marchers had like a backlog of like 3 years worth of plot.
Woof.
Essentially, that's just there and it's just never been dealt with. So they've become they sort of become very insular now, and they've become the Marchers. They've become what they should be, and they're doing so well. So it's been really, really nice to see. It's
always good when you have a nation that like hits on that just good note of like playing out the brief, which virtually every realm in Concord is at this point. They're all playing out the brief in such cool ways. I love it.
Yeah, we're spoiled though. We are so spoiled with Empire, with that wiki that's like the size of 10 Bibles, and it's massive. So having everything like that done, and then you've got all the content creators as well, who do a lot of stuff. So it explains the rules and nations and just tries to help people. So with Empire, we are spoiled, absolutely spoiled rotten, which is a good thing. So none of the briefs are really ignored. I mean, you do get the odd thing turn up. So there are things that are explicitly banned, but you do see them on occasion. So like top hats, they're banned. We saw one last event, a big leather one, and it's ridiculous. So there was that there. Last event was a bit of a write-off really, because it was so hot. Like I say, it was like 35 degrees, and for us that's retirement weather. Yeah, it's just stupid. So we were all dying in the heat. We were all melting, and I'm really fat. So for me it was as an absolute killer. But having all those briefs and having every single nation, you can easily tell, looking at a lot of, I'd say 95% of the players there, and say, you're this nation, you're that nation, you're the other nation. Then you get annoying people like Jazz, where she turns up for her first event in a nation and looks better than everyone. How dare she? How absolutely dare she? She's playing a Calavesi, the same as me, and if you stood us next to each other, you'd look at her and go, oh, you're Calavesi. You'd look at me and go, like, are you a homeless person that they found down the roads? Are you, it's like, are you on day release? Steve, are you on day release? Have they let you out for the evening? That's literally it. Someone clip that, because that's one of the best analogies I've ever come up with. So,
I don't know if I have clipping enabled. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I do. If someone can do it, do it.
Joe, I know you're watching or listening. You're good at that. So, because I was talking, notice lies. No, Jazz, please. I don't give compliments out to Red. So take it, okay? You looked absolutely fantabulous. It was great. 35 degrees ain't nothing for us either. There's a reason we don't run in summer. As someone who gave himself ambulance levels of heat stroke. Ugh,
yeah, we've had it a couple of times. Like, we've got stuff that runs during summer, but they're not big multi-day things, because we realised that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Some people are insane, though.
Oh god, yeah. I give up on everything when it comes to this sort of stuff. So we had PD bought pallets of cold water, and they had them situated all over the field. Just so players, if you're walking past, you could grab a little bottle just so you're drinking.
Yep.
Yeah, the kit was and is always on point, but she won't accept it. Yeah, well, she's gonna have to. I was wondering how peeps cope in the Aussie sun. I mean, I know when you came onto my stream and we had a chat, we brought up the weather, and it's literally the same as us. It's like you just melt a bit, but you stay hydrated and in the shade.
Yeah, hydrate or dihydrate.
Exactly. It's just avoid the centipedes?
Yeah. The dire centipede.
Yeah, because they're just because that's the danger out there, isn't it? It's nothing else. They're the dangerous things, really.
No, there's nothing else. Like, to be fair, we have it on a bloody sheep farm. Like, for the most part, it's fine. Like, I mean, ants, I guess, are sometimes a thing.
Yeah.
But, just the heat. Just the ambient heat's just a bit. Actually, so again, more so, and again, like, Concord folks can and will agree with me. For our summer summits, the heat is not great, but the fact that it goes from warm to bone cold at night is the worst. It is actually the worst. It's horrid. Absolutely fucking horrid.
So I got called crazy at the last event because I brought my cloak with me. Because there's no clouds in the sky. So it's 35 degrees during the day, but it's still going to be like 4 at night. It's still going to be really cold in the evenings. So, but thankfully I was drunk enough so I didn't care. So we were sat by the fire, and I was good for the night, and I could just chill. I could chat to people. And that was the greatest thing about it. And and then I think the best thing about doing all of this though is when you get to see your friends and you get to see people who are there. So, I mean, I know it's really cliche to say, but it's all about your friends and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it's something like Empire, it really, really is. Apart from Dolly, when I see Dolly walk up, it's just like, there you go. Thank you, Joe. He's made the clip, and is the Hefty Yeti homeless?
beautiful. You know,
that's awesome.
Some of the best things in life are free, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll have to put the clip up on Create Clips thing on your YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of that, right? So let's kind of kick into this proper, right? So
I thought we had started.
No.
Sorry.
No. Well, I mean, kinda. Yeah. You know, look, I assumed when I brought you on, it was gonna be loosey goosey, and it is, and that's fine. No problem. So, folks, welcome to Wanderer's Guide to Esterra, the Concord LARP podcast. Yeah, this is technically episode 14 because, hey, guess what happened to my recording last night? It balked. So I have only an hour's worth of good footage, recording, and the other 30 minutes of it that's there is basically unusable. So probably not going to have anything covering the remainder of our Winds of the World for this summit, before the summit. Sag, I'm in eternal pain. As it was more or less my fault, I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't matter. This is where we live. But yeah, so I have no real announcements for the coming summit because character submissions are closed, tickets closed tomorrow. Brace yourselves. This is going to be a shitstorm of the highest caliber I think we've seen thus far, and we're only in year 3. Truly the broken year is prepared to break us, like Batman over Bane's knee. Yep. Yeah, fulfilling something I've wanted to do for a few months now. Timing has just been weird to return the favor, as it were, although not so much considering the size difference when it comes to channels. Yeah, thank you, Steve, very much for coming on here.
I'm going to translate that to all the English people who are listening. He took pity on me because I was bored. I was very, very bored. I've been very lonely recently, so he invited me on his channel. He fucked up his recording really badly. It's definitely not about size either.
It's about what you do with it.
No, not even that. It's you're doing something that's really good for your community. And that's all that matters. So the size doesn't matter. Do you like how I went from saying stupid to saying serious there? Mm-hmm. And I didn't even bat an eyelid.
No,
I just
impressive. Most impressive thing I've ever seen you do.
Well, yeah, I know, and I mean, my wife would agree as well. But no, I always said that I would be happy to come on whenever you wanted me to, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm going to chat shit for the next however long you want me to be here.
Mm-hmm. So let's kind of do the obvious thing, right? So.
Oh, first of all, I have to say to everyone who watches me, that's how you do an introduction to a podcast and stream and stuff. Not how I do it, because mine's shit.
Your chill and vibe out is fine, but like you naturally have the vibe for that shit. My brain screams like must be professional to X degree, or you look like an absolute fucking stun mullet, which my pride will not handle. And as anyone that knows me has known me for long enough, I have a very weird pride. So
it's you do you. I
do me.
What is this introduction thing of which you speak? I know, Dolly, right? It's something that we don't. Dolly doesn't do it, really. Neither do I, not professionally.
Professionalism, what is this word you speak of? What magic is this?
I do not understand. What is this thing going on over here in the corner? Oh, that's professionalism. It looks beaten and like upset, Steve. What did you do to it? Oh, I've been ignoring it for years.
Constant years of neglect.
Yeah. So it was similar to when I went to the Epic Armory gathering because I streamed the whole thing. So right at the start, the first thing that they saw on chat was like up my nose immediately. Because that was literally how it started. I was just like, is it working? It's just like, oh yeah, you can see right up my nose though. I mean, thankfully, immediately after that, they were blessed with Lisa Wolfram, who is the content creator for Epic Armory, and She is phenomenal at what she does. She is very, very pretty, and she has this natural charm and charisma when she was on stream as well, and it oozed. It really did. So I look like, I don't know, just a fat blob in the corner, and then she was, and then she was there just going, yeah, and all this. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I need to rethink my life.
Well, once you rethink your life, you can tell us about what your life is. Who are you, for those that are unaware?
See, I was gonna make a joke, but it was just, that would have been taking it way too far, even for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Steve. I am a content creator from the UK. I started in the COVID lockdowns when Empire was null and void. It wasn't happening. Nothing was going on. So I wanted to do something positive, and I wanted to just chat to people, trying to keep the hype going, trying to keep the interest going, because I didn't want Empire to die. So I did a stream, and I just talked to people for a little bit, and then I had some orcs on, and then I literally was getting messages from people saying, "Oh, could we come and talk about this? Could we come and talk about that?" And I was very much like, yeah, definitely want to do that. And I went, so my first stream I had like 6 people watching. Then I had it built up, and I had about 12 people watching after that. Mm-hmm. But the big moment was when I did a music charity stream to raise money for the League Theatre. So the Hefty fam, as we call them, raised a few thousand pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that transfers to in Australia, stolen currency.
Uh-huh. Rather than British failing currency.
Well, yeah, definitely, mm-hmm. Definitely. Could be worse. You could be Russian. So I raised a few £1,000, and we bought a new tent for them, and that was when I started the Discord, and I had a load of people join, and the Discord's now got over 800 people on it. The channel's got over 1,000 followers. I've got about a core group of about 50 people who subscribe each month. I've got a Patreon, and me and are you aware of Digby at all?
Peripherally, yeah. Me
and him, we're actually starting a new channel. It's going to be on my channel, but we're literally doing 2 chaps go LARPing, because Digby is very middle class, and as has been established, there's questions about whether or not I'm homeless. So we're literally doing 2 chaps go LARPing, where we want to visit LARPs all around the world to make videos about them, to show to people and just say, look, this LARP is a massive thing. It's a huge deal now. You can go here and do it. So we want to do little LARPs where there's 5 people. We want to do the big LARPs where there's 15,000 people. Mm-hmm. We want to do them all. So that's been sort of like the growth and where my channel is sort of heading to. Mm-hmm. Because I've been really lucky. So a lot of content creators will focus on one LARP. So a lot of people focus on Empire and that, or D&D and things. And I'm more interested now in saying that I've made 300 videos of Empire. I want to talk about other things, and there's another project that I can't talk about. But my God, is it exciting. I cannot wait for this to become public, because it's going to be huge. Mm-hmm. Absolutely huge. And I think it's going to give people another choice with LARPs as well, which is going to be phenomenal. Okay. Absolutely phenomenal.
Interesting.
But that's going to be it's very much in the brainstorming phase at the moment. But a couple of years and that. So, but yeah. So we were talking. So Concord came up. So I was chatting to Avi about it, and he said that he is aware of it, and he has been. It's about getting time because I think he's Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah, he's down there.
Yeah.
And because you're over in Perth, aren't you?
Yeah, Western Australia. I'm south of Perth.
So yeah, so he wants to go. So I've said to him, "Oh, well, if we come out and do this, say, then you'll have to come along with us." So potentially, if me and Digby come out to Australia to do Concord, we'll be bringing because probably be about 7 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just got what you were on about with that new thing, Steve. Yeah, I know, right? It's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally up talking to the person about it until like midnight last night.
Nice.
It's very, very cool. It's very, very cool. So on stream, Ryan very kindly paid for a dirty kebab for me because it was my birthday at the beginning of the month. So he bought me a kebab as a birthday dinner. So I went and ordered one, and it was good. It was really needed.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
But so there's a chance that if we come over to when he said Empire to Concord, there might be like 8 of us.
Excellent.
Coming over. So, because how many players do you get in Concord now?
So I think when we're in between 270 and 280, but that's like attendees overall. In terms of like full on player characters, I think we're sitting at about if Cocomonk's still sitting in the stream, I think we're sitting at about 250.
250.
I think of player characters because we've got majority player characters, and then there are kids attending the academy. There's the NPC team and the people with cohort tickets, which are just turn up, be in costume for the day and or weekend, but aren't full character.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Have you got So it's more like me questioning you.
No, go ahead.
Have you got like a website sorted?
So we have a wiki that's got all the lore information, a lot of the sort of basic peripheral information of like the site we use and such. But a lot of our information is split up between the wiki itself and the Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay.
With the vast majority.
I'm not on Facebook. I hate Facebook with a passion.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you.
It's it's a horrible, horrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that I'll have to get one of your. Well, to be honest, might as well just get you on stream to come and talk to me and Digby through character creation.
Yeah, sure. I got no problem with doing that. If it's not going to be me, I may. What I might do in that one is there is a very strong, very bright pillar of our community when it comes to character creation that I know for a fact would have a lovely time guiding the both of you through it. So we'll see. I'll ping some stuff around. Concord folks in chat know who I'm talking about, the illustrious Stuart.
I think Stuart was in chat last time when we were nattering away.
I would not be surprised.
So, yeah, but I'm sure that me and Digby will come up with something suitably. Digby will come up with something challenging for everybody there.
It's not hard.
297 attendees roughly this game. That's awesome.
Okay, that's a new figure. That's so cool that it's almost at 300. Oh, that's awesome.
Very, very cool.
Oh wait, hang on. Does Skittles have the tattoo yet? Tell me he's gotten the tattoo, because like we broke past that goal, surely.
That's
I'll get that answer in a second. I need to know whether or not he's gotten the tattoo.
Yeah, come on, Skittles, get that tattoo. I don't know who Skittles is.
Skittles is Michael Harris. He's the lead organizer and the head writer for Concord. He's the tippy top of Concord. Good egg.
That's
very
cool.
Good egg.
But yeah, well, I'll have a chat with Digby because I think it will be a good thing to do for streams, just to go through character creation with someone there, because that's always the first hurdle for everyone. And then do that, talk about the game, and then obviously the next thing will be go out to we'll do the 1,000,000-hour flight out to Australia. And then we'll watch me and Digby get eaten by all your insects.
It's actually funny. So we're talking with some folks. I can't remember when it was exactly. That was it. It was on a Discord chat a couple days ago. Talking with Skittles actually and a couple of other people, bringing up the idea of going to Empire, or people coming from Empire to here, all that kind of thing. And Skittles raised a very good point of at this point, it's a matter of time of who goes to which one first. That's where Concord is at. Because there's a lot of people that are I really want to go to Empire, but it's so fucking expensive. Just to fly there, accommodations, all that jazz.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, very, very much so. I think it's going to be the same both ways.
Yeah.
But I would love for me and Digby to be the first from either base to go out. I mean, to be honest, I would love to have a chat with PD and your guys just to say, can we bring our Empire characters over? Just to say, look, there's been a fuck up somewhere in the portals and we've now landed here. And then when we come back, we'll forget everything. So that way there's no cross over. But it could be a laugh.
Sure.
See if anyone can understand my Irish accent out there.
Yeah, I could see Skittles enjoying the novelty of it. I don't know whether or not it would go through, but I could see him enjoying the fuck out of the novelty.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a one-off, it could be a laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, so, but obviously we have to we'll respect the decisions from the powers that be. So it'll just be a laugh, regardless. It'd be good to get a load of photos and see everybody there.
Oh yeah, because your character is Wintermark?
Yeah, for my sins. Digby has 2 larp character types: the officer class full of vim and vigour and stiff upper lips, or the jumped up baseborn who's going to be causing you a problem and everyone will hear about it. Yeah, so Digby's current character has started a farmers union. And he has done, I mean, considering he's been at Empire now for 6 events, I think, he has caused so much trouble across the entirety of the game. It's phenomenal. He when I say people hit the ground running, he is one of those people. He will turn up and he will kick up a stink and he will hit the ground running.
So what's really funny about that is you could do that in just about any realm and it would have varying levels of impact. All of them big. If you really want to kick up a stink, you could do it just about anywhere in Concord. That's the great. You could be a green wielder and decide to be immensely upbeat and happy about every single little thing and be weird because they're all so fucking serious and I love it. You could be Lorena Mir and just be loud. The entire time, just be loud.
Yeah,
loud and French.
Oh. So you
or
have
Italian. I need to be there to Lorena Mir or Italian.
Oh. Yeah, well,
we'll just be Cockney as fucking Mortivar. That's also fun.
He'll be flogging his little green book. Yes, he will. So Digby also wrote a book. Well, I say a book. It's like a 30-page pamphlet thing about farming. I've got it right behind me. It's called "Those Who Work the Land 3-Point Philosophy by Alfred Aelwolfson. It's available now on Amazon. It will be rejected at all good bookshops. But yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
That is
so
amazing.
Yeah, so everyone does such a good job, and I would love to bring a group of people. I mean, to be honest, the easiest way to do it is just to plan for a certain date and say we are going then.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, so I think I'll have to have a chat with him, and we'll do that. So, because I do really want to come out to Concord.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out there and just be hated by everyone for being English. So, that'll be a laugh too. Get Matt P or someone to open the portal. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, have your fucking entrance be you're just fucking like getting chucked through the fucking gate. Yeah, that'd be funny as shit, actually.
Yeah, Cal selling Yellow Lotus in Oz. What is the worst that could happen? Yeah, I could bring all my drugs with me. Go, so here you go. Have some of these. Have some of these.
Oh, I want this approved so hard now, just so we get more drugs in Concord.
Yeah. I've got like 200 of them still, so I'm sure I could. 200 lammies. I'm sure I could bring like 20 or something, and just to go and make some in character money on your side, mm-hmm. and then find the poorest person in the field and give it all to them, or a child. That would work too.
Both would be immensely funny.
Just to go, there you go. Hopefully, we've helped you become very rich.
Mm-hmm.
Have this and keep the drugs. Sell them too.
God, that is such an immensely wonderful idea of giving a kid player like, oh, here's like 20 locks. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's all about fun at the end of the day, isn't it? So that's all we're here for.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all playing make believe and we're all doing stupid shit. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not push the fun boundaries a little bit? I mean, obviously, don't give drugs to kids.
Yes,
that's very important to establish there. But in LARP, don't give drugs to kids. Let them sell it.
Twitch terms of service. Just want to be very clear. This is not real. We're not actually talking about giving any kind of illicit substances to children. Please do not delete this channel. Thank you.
Yeah, people have to keep reminding me to say that on mine when I talk about it. So, but yeah, I think that could be good fun.
Yeah, sure.
That could be good fun. But I'll have a chat with Digby and we'll see about what we can do, because I think the flights aren't anywhere near as expensive as they once were. So I mean, you used to be looking at thousands and thousands of pounds just for the flight. You're now looking at less than $1,000.
Yeah.
So, but I think the hotel and all of that, and then obviously people can help us with weaponry and stuff like that, because I don't really fancy hauling any weapons across around the globe to then be like have it melt or something. So on the way we'll get broken and in transit. So
yeah, it's doable. No, I guarantee you that's doable.
Yeah, so I think because you rent out tents and stuff like that as well, don't you?
Yes, we have the excellent service of Hotel Concord. Absolutely excellent service.
Yeah. See, we don't really have that at Empire. Someone has mooted the idea of doing it, but it's very difficult to do because PD rent their own tents out. So we don't really want to be like stepping on their toes in any way, shape or form as well. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult thing to
well, that's different when you have like an actual company like running it, right? That is the big difference, because for us it's just a team of people knocking it all about under the banner of LARP West, whereas you've got, as I say, you've got an entire company devoted to running it. Yeah,
this is true. But I mean, at the end of the day, as long as we're we were able to come out and help promote things for you and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, we don't want anything for free. One of the big things that we decided at the beginning was we would pay for everything. We don't want free tickets. We don't want special treatment. We're doing this because we love LARP. So that's a massive, massive thing for us. So, yeah. But, I mean, obviously, if people are throwing in free beer, then I think I'd accept that. That's fine. Chuck me a pint. Chuck me a pint. I'm yours. It's really easy. A chain shirt would be your bag weight limit, I'd imagine. Oh yeah, easy. I mean, unless it's got the new alley chain that Armchair Armories make, which is literally probably the best chainmail makers in the world.
Interesting.
Armchair Armories. They do it for TV and film as well now. So they're that good. Oh, excuse me. I'm burping down the mic and everything as well. This is good. They are that good. And then Matt made some aluminium chain, which looks like steel chain, but it's so light. It's so light, but it's expensive. It is very expensive.
I figured it'd be. Hopefully it's riveted, because budded aluminium seems like pain.
I have no idea.
That's fair.
When it comes to that sort of stuff, it's just like it goes straight over my head.
Yep, that's
because I wear plate, so that's what I'm interested in. Yep. So chainmail's never really been my thing.
Yeah, I've recently been like neck deep into like different chainmails and stuff because I'm getting very much going headstrong into future character kit. Chainmail being one part of it, and I just earlier this week bought some secondhand plate, and I've been wearing it over the past couple of days to get conditioned. Fuck, I love it. Oh, it's so ostentatious and grand and showy. It's the, I don't know if you've seen it, it's the Epic Armory Heavy Rogue Shoulder Set. Like the fucking the pauldrons are absurd.
Let me have a quick butchers. The Epic Armory, what was it called?
The Rogue Shoulders.
Are they going to be big and tasty?
The shoulder pieces look like they have a massive popped collar, in a way. Kinda. That's how I like to describe them, is it looks like a popped collar, almost. Or like fucking, parapets on a damn castle. It's ridiculous.
Huh.
Like, I want to turn them into cup holders. I'm not gonna lie.
Neck and shoulders. Right, I'll have to go through this because it's not letting me do a search for them.
That's all good.
Metal. Because I got to see their new Dark Elf stuff. And my god, it is gorgeous. Renegade. Oh, the rogue neck and shoulder. Oh my god.
Yeah, look at those things. Look at them. See what I mean by popped collar?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting look.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I fucking love. I actually do love it. I think it is. It's ostentatious and funny. It's fun. It's very much what I wanted, especially once I get it all painted and detailed.
Don't know where to put it in mine.
Nah, don't worry.
I'm gonna put a link in for people. Oh, there you go. I'll put it in the Epic Armory channel.
Yep.
There
it's
we go.
funny as shit. Yeah,
so if people want to see it, I'll just put a link in the Epic Armory channel in there. They are out there.
Yep. They're glorious.
Incredible shoulders look amazing. Oh, Phil 8001. That's Helen. That's my wife. She's currently on a team building thing in the land of 13 fingers.
Yeah, because you'll have your own version of Tasmania, being the Isle of Wight.
I was thinking to myself, I wonder if their version of the Isle of Wight is Tasmania.
Yeah, it's Tasmania. It's definitely Tasmania.
Wow,
the land where two heads are better than one.
Used to get ragged at reenactments for calling it chainmail. It's mail, a nightmare. So Jazz and Pete, they come from a reenactment background, so they do a lot of it, and they, very, very knowledgeable and genuinely two of the nicest people in the world. They will help everybody as well. So they're people worth knowing. Jazz does all the Etsy stuff, makes jewelry and things like that, and Pete is very, very knowledgeable about a lot of armor and weapon. He makes weapons as well.
Oh wow!
So he makes larp weapons too. So there's loads. Yeah, really, really cool. Really, really good as well. And I think Jazz paints them. Oh my god, they're both too talented. They need to get in the bin together.
Yep.
How dare they? How very, very dare they?
Yeah, I get so upset with myself anytime I come across someone that's like, oh yeah, here's this cool thing. Oh yeah, no, I just took an afternoon and just made this incredibly elaborate twisted wire headdress with all these beads and shit. Like, fucking stop. Like, I love that you're talented, but stop.
Mail means chain, so chain mail is chain. Oh, is it? It's like chai tea, because chai means tea.
Tea, yeah.
So it's TT. Paint armor and weapons with real info, etc.
God, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, he is very, very good. I've got a project for Pete. I need a massive two-handed club.
Oh God.
To be made. Not for me either. It's a story and something that happened in Empire that a friend of mine, Chris, he bought this enchanted weapon which belonged to an old troll hero or warrior.
Okay.
And it enables you to call paralyze with it with a hero point. So if you get a lot, so in Empire have a potion called Scott's Meads, which give you hero points back. So it means every single time you spend a hero point, you can call paralyze when you hit someone with this.
Fuck.
So it's brutal. It's really, really good, but it's quite expensive to use. So because making one Scott's Mead is a very expensive potion. So example. In one battle, I call with my weapons. I call shatter, and I called shatter. I think it was 51 times is my record.
Yeah, I guess
one Scott's Mead gives you 3 hero points back, and one Scott's Mead costs about 12 crowns. So it's about 1.5 thrones for one. So obviously the currency in Empire, it's rings are the small one, 20 rings to a crown, 8 crowns to a throne. So you are looking at thousands and thousands of rings to buy one potion.
That's such a drastic difference.
I used about 15 of them.
Fuck!
So in one battle, yeah. I had people coming up to me with their Scott's Meads just to feed it to me and say, go and break their shit.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So it was really good. So in a battle where you got 800 on 800, and I'm in one part of the line and I'm shattering shields and spears, it means that we can push through and we can wrap around and get behind the enemy lines. So it worked really, really well.
Yep.
And then doing it 50 odd times, it means that there's shields and spears out there that have my name on them and they're going to get broken.
Yep.
And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, it's sort of, I get known for doing that sort of stuff.
So to give a little bit of context for the Concord folks, hero points is Empire's version of our energy. I believe paralyze is our stun, and shatter is our break. So that should give you any idea of how ludicrous what has been unleashed is Yeah, no, like, thankfully I can translate everything you've said. Fuck. That's really, really scary.
It's a lot, and then you add on to the fact that you get like enchanted armor, and I've spent enough XP to like boost my endurance levels. So like everyone starts on 2 hits. My character's on 5. I've spent that much XP. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous what I can do. But that's a lot of it's thanks to everyone around me. So people go into battle on about 13 hits normally with armor and everything. Double that, and you're still not at where I am.
Good God.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because there was a load of us when Empire started. We realised we could go into a battle on 70 odd hits, which was ridiculous. And so there was a group of like 6 of us, and then combine us all together, it's like 500 hits. And PD just went, right, we're going to stop that. Yeah, so we're going to, basically they got rid of some, they changed some rules, and then they contacted us to say, this is what we've done. If you don't like it, we'll refund your XP for this, this, and this. So a lot of us basically just went back to scratch, and then we worked out a way of rebuilding our characters. So they're really good at it. They don't just go, here's the rule change, like it or lump it.
Yeah.
They came to it and actually said, we need to sort this. And we realised that you've done all of this. So it was phenomenal. It was really, really good to hear. PD are really good at that. So we got to rebuild, and then we worked it out so we could do it again up to like, instead of like 70 odd, we've got it to about 40 odd. So they had to do the rule change again.
Hey, you stress testing the system, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is their way of, basically the players will find the loophole.
Yeah.
And they'll exploit it, and then PD will change it to make everybody better. So we're expecting another rule change to come, because I mean, if I can hit 27 hits, we're expecting another rule change to take people down to around the 20 hit mark.
Wow, that's still double our
It's still
max.
a lot. Yeah, it's still a lot, but it's a lot of fun though. I enjoy hearing all this. I like the beer to currency conversion. 1 beer is 5 rings in game. Yeah, that's how a lot of people do stuff. It's like,
that makes sense.
So Mori makes rings and pendants and stuff, and he is in the bin talented. His stuff is really nice. And it's literally, so how much would a ring cost? And that's about 4 pints. So about, so about 4 crowns. So that's about 32 pints for that 1 ring, which is about right, to be honest. So, but then again though, the beer average is changing again at Empire. So it's no longer 5 rings for a beer. It's about, you're looking at, it's all doubled, cost of living and all that.
Yep.
So it's hitting everyone hard. So yeah, so we go for 5 rings a pint. So my pub, well, the Hall's pub is currently the cheapest in the Empire by a mile. But we are even having to change our prices because we realised. So if I spend 120 quid on homebrew, on making like 4 barrels of homebrew, we get, it works out to be like a ring that we make back from it. So a quid, £1 is 1 ring in game. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. So I can't afford to do that every event. So I'm looking at buying my own stuff and working out a way of doing all the homebrew myself. Yeah,
it's like a lot of us as well, with the cost of living going up, have had to do the same thing with like what's tenable to do with homebrew. Like a lot of folks just brew it in barrels and just kegs and that, and just take that down and dispense directly from that, rather than what I do, which is is I do my brew and then I put it in bottles, which means I have far less because I also have to pay for the bottles, I have to pay for the label, and all that crap. So it's annoying.
Labels are quite easy to do. Just A4 piece of paper, cut it up into quarters, and then if you get some milk and a brush, you just put it on, and that acts as a glue. Back of the paper, then you put that on the bottle. Yeah, that's what we do.
Fuck it, I'm remembering that one. I'm just using the already sort of done up the paper labels just from bloody office supply store just up the road. Like it's cheap.
Yeah.
The labels are the cheapest part. I'm going to be honest. The labels are fine. It's the bottles that get really expensive because it's the case of you could get the cheaper, thinner bottles from just like whatever store, or you can get the proper like thick hinge top amber bottles, like the really good ones that are going to keep your homebrew and stop the bottle from just exploding. So, and that's what I've tended to do because they're also like really nice bottles. So, but I'm also just doing all this brew on my own. I'm not doing this linked up with anyone else yet. That is next on the chopping block in future character of rolling out a shit ton of stuff. But that's future character things to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, as long as people are enjoying it, you're making a bit of cash from it. That's all that matters with a lot of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's been my favorite thing is viewing our Cake Economics game go from what it was when I turned up to now. Like now we've got I think three or four pubs, one of which isn't functioning this game because they're taking over someone else's pub temporarily. But like we've got multiple different like stalls set up. We have multiple different food locations. Someone's just opened a casino. Like it's wild.
Oh dear. Yeah. By far the tastiest beer and food I've had so far. I see. Thank you, Maury. The 2 feet cider is really good, and it's not just because I make it. Well, me and Kit make it. It's really nice. Drink more wine, sell it in wine sacks. That's a good shout.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Actually,
everyone enjoys a slurp from a sack.
Actually, so that's a good point. I'm amazed that no one here down and under has looked into making quote unquote ye old goon bag.
Yeah,
that would sell.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, wine would be really good, and from a sack. What was it called? A goon bag.
Yep. So it's boxed wine.
Right.
Yeah, when it's in a sack, it's called a goon bag. Yep.
The bag inside a carton of cheap wine. Right.
Yep.
Oh my god, goon is the cheap wine, less than $4.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes goon is really good though. That's the scary part. Sometimes it is delicious. That's the worst part. And you could reuse the bag as like an ice pack or something. It's multi-use.
Australian dollars to pounds. Dolly, this will make you so happy, mate. So how much? God. So Dolly, you need to go to Australia, mate, because you can you could get one of these goon bags for £2.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's
£2, mate.
Cheap. The alcohol content isn't insane, but
it doesn't matter.
You get it in enough quantity, it won't matter.
Exactly.
God,
Talk to Silas.
I haven't
about the goon
in
bag.
so long. It's probably a good
yeah.
thing.
I mean, we get we should probably break away from alcohol, but we get this is bad. I would die. Yes. We've got like special brew over here with white lightning cider, white shite. Yes, exactly.
I've heard of white lightning, yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal. So I have to admit, when I was younger, so when I was in the, to be honest, when we were in the military as well, we used to go out and buy, because you buy normal bottle of like Longbow or something like that. So it's like a 2 litre bottle for like a couple of quid. Yeah, Longbow. So you buy a cup for a couple of quid. You could buy a 4 litre bottle of Shite Lightning, and that would be like £1.50 because it was just terrible. It was just so bad. It would make you ill. But we'd go out and buy like 3 or 4 of those and about 8 bottles of lemonade.
Yep.
So we literally pour in like 3/4 of a pint of Shite Lightning.
Yeah.
And then you top it up with lemonade because that made it more drinkable.
Yep.
So, and that was how it went. And God, we were fucked. Carl's first outing as Silas was at a Way House. He has a bit of a love-hate relationship with the goon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, you might know, Carl, if you've seen my wine streams that I've done, where it's literally me chatting to people and getting drunk, Kyle was the first person. Me and Kyle, we were shit-faced on wine. And we had such a good... What's the point where Kyle was crying with laughter? There's literally like 10 minutes towards the end where we were both just crying. We just couldn't stop laughing. So, yeah. So he has a love relationship with wine.
Yep.
I'll have to bring him a bottle.
Get that.
He's great. Pre-drinks are always done with Lambrini. Homemade Snakebite Black. Good old White Lightning is a teen staple. We got Snakebite. Everyone with a Joker smile by the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a version of White Lightning over here. I think I have had it where it's definitely cider, but it just tastes like vinegar. It's not... Yeah. I don't even know what it's called, but every time I go to the same pub and I make the mistake of saying cider, whatever kind, I know for a fact what I'm getting is a pint of that, instead of me being intelligent and saying like, give me some Summersby or something nice. Instead, it's a pint of what is basically just vinegar with apple flavoring. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's really not good.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that's for sure.
But yeah, no, I genuinely do expect them when you'll do come over here. I think the nations being a little weird, the money being a bit different, and obviously, you know, because it's a different LARP, the culture is going to be a little different. I feel like you'll settle in very easily.
Well, we'll be drunk, so I don't think it will matter.
This is true, although I will say, for the benefit of the Concord team, make sure you read the event guide when it comes out. It's very important. Best document and most important document everyone and anyone should read when coming to Concord is the event guide.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, we will.
Of course. I trust you. I'm just saying
we're not a bunch of lushes.
No.
Well, we are.
Half lush.
Yeah, pretty much. But we will have fun, but we will be sensible with everything there.
Of course.
Oh man, they said my teen staple was 2 bottles of red wine and a pack of Bud a night went out.
God,
back
that
when
sounds like a
alcohol was
mistake.
cheap. Yeah. Steve can't read. No, I can't read. What have I missed? My teen staples: 2 bottles of red wine and a pack of Bud. Yeah. What teen is drinking red wine? Pete, you posh git. Yes. Yeah, we'll stick with that. It should say, yeah, all these drinks should stay. I've forgotten. 2 bottles for a $5. I remember when wine was 2 bottles for a $5. That was great. That was really, really good. I will say to everybody listening as well, this LARPers are all alcoholics. We do drink a lot. We're not all alcoholics. But when you get into an event in the evenings and that, yeah, everything sort of like gets away from you.
Yep.
Still.
Can confirm. Very much so.
So I've forgotten what the question was as well.
No, it's fine. Again.
Oh no, tell me about your yourself, so we're still on
It's
the
fine.
first.
It's fine. Look, no, in all seriousness, you did the exact thing I expected you to do. You then transitioned over into another thing I was going to ask about anyway. I clarified it, so as far as I'm concerned, everything is on track. This is fine. This is fine.
So yeah, so I'm Steve.
This is fine. No, this is going fine, honestly.
Oh dear.
Sorry, there is actually something I'm curious about because I've not fully read on it, and I don't know how much you can talk about this because there are a couple of aspects to Empire that are drastically different to what we have.
Okay.
One of which is how you'll do potions, in that you'll have it in like books, and the book will have like 3 or so, or 2 or 3 potions that you learn all at the same time. Is that correct?
We have potions are learned by groups on the character creation thing.
Okay.
So for example, Helen, my wife, she has most of the potion sets, and she literally. So you'll have like in the infusions potion set, so you can make something called Goose Whisper, which is a hallucinogen. Which gives you visions, essentially. So if you want to make that, you need the resources, the ingredients, so from all the herbs that are there. So I think it's like 7 herbs. So you'll need 3 of one, 2 of this one, 2 of this one, and 2 of that one. And then you take those selection of herbs up to God and go, I want to make Goose Whisper. Here's the herbs. They'll take your character ID, and they'll say, yep, you can do this. Here is Goose Whisper. Here is the Goose Whisper Lammy. And that's it. That's how you make the potion. So the books, I think by books you're referring to the groups.
Yes, that is what I'm referring to. Because otherwise, making the potion is the same thing, although we do have one really fun thing that got introduced recently, in that to basically stop 1 or 2 apothecaries like dominating the apothecary game, there are now like alchemy wounds you can get from making too many potions. Like bad things can happen to you because you're overworking yourself.
Yes.
Like crushed hands. Love crushed hands.
I have no idea what that is.
you take points of damage. You can't use your hands anymore, and if you move your hands or if someone else moves them for you, you take more damage.
Ooh,
Gotta get
I like that.
Oh yeah, that's the worst though. That's like at the upper echelon of overworking yourself. Other things like, you get some brain bleed, you lose some memories, or you get some acid burns, different fun things. I honestly love them. But for us, we learn potions one by one, although we have a significantly smaller pool of potions. So like all your arcane realm based potions, we've sort of consolidated those into 2 groups of 3.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good. I like the idea of having smaller sets but more specific things. So yeah, I think that's a good way to do things, to be honest.
But again, this is also a LARP that's not been around anywhere near as long as the game. So you've been
Jazz agrees. Says that sounds like a good idea to limit how many potions, make apothecaries more needed. As in Empire, one can churn out an infinite number. Yeah,
exactly. And that was something we were kind of noticing, the team as well were noticing, going like, this is really not a fun vibe because it means 2 people can cover the entirety of Concord, and every other apothecary is pointless because why not just go to those same 2 people? So that's been implemented.
The other way around it is kill those 2 people and let the other apothecaries take over.
Some people,
or start an apothecary guild.
That was also looking into it as well, and it wasn't tenable. It is now. It's tenable now. It's absolutely tenable now with the new introduction rules. Like, no, that's absolutely something, and I'm amazed it doesn't exist.
I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, it works to start off with, and then they get bigger and bigger. They become untenable because the people in charge then get a lot more money.
Yeah.
So, isn't there supposed to be X minutes per potion roleplay? Used to be. It now herbs. So if you're using a herb specifically on an individual, it's 30 seconds of roleplay of you like grounding up the herb and then shoving it up their noses or something like that.
So you'll have a thing where apothecaries can just use a herb on someone.
Yes.
So we don't have that. Our surgeons, which is the equivalent of physician, are the only ones that can.
Yeah. That's one of the a chirurgeon for us. So they can do that as well.
Interesting.
But I think anybody with a herb, to be honest. Give me a second. I've got. Hold up. You bastard. Right, I just had to lean for my bag of goodies, which has got all my Empire potions and stuff in it. I do have herbs in here, so I can have a read of herb Imperial Rosewood. Can only be applied by the character with a physics skill. Use 10 seconds of appropriate roleplay. The physic can remove the venom condition from a target.
Okay,
so each
so
herb,
it is the same.
So physics skill, 30 seconds of appropriate roleplay, can heal a target to full hits.
To full?
Yeah, that's true Vervain.
Oh right, yeah, because you'll have like the different tiers of stuff, right?
Yeah, so this herb use fails if you or your target are hit or attack another character during application, but the herb is not consumed.
Interesting. That's kind of fun. Yeah, because we've only got the basic of the we've only got the basic herbs at the moment. So we've just got the removes venom, I believe mends a limb, temporarily removes the, I believe it's the roleplay and or negative effects of a traumatic wound. Oh, I'm blanking on. Restores 4 hit points and something else I'm forgetting that I'm sure is important that I'm not remembering, which is not good because I'm a mender and a magical healer and an apothecary, and I should probably remember these things. I even have them down in Braille somewhere.
Excellent.
Oh God.
These all sorts of things are there just to help. They improve the game and they make things a bit more difficult. I think PD need to bring in the you're limited on the amount of potions you can make.
Yep.
So because we have gone up to them and said we've got this many hundreds of herbs. We need to make 100 elixir vitae. We need to make 100 Scops mead. And we need to make 100 of these. And then one person in God has to sit there and count everything out and then get the lammies and count them out for the player. It's very time consuming, and one person has to literally walk across the entirety of the field to get that. So it'd be good if there was other ways of doing it.
I think from memory, I believe it's when you make X amount of potions, I think it's like 5, you hit like tier 1 chance of something happening to you within that tier. Then it's like 10, and then I think 15. And then like the chance of something happening to you goes up, and the lethality goes up.
Yes.
And I think that's cool. It's either per day or per event. I can't remember which. But it seems like it's helped the problem from what I know. Last game I was far too focused on doing other things, like having a piece of my soul ripped out. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I've been told start the game coming, I will get my card with all the shit I need to worry about, or something bad happened to me.
Yeah, I think it was at E2 this year. I had a bit of my my memory removed by a potion from the I think it was the Night Realm. So it took a memory and replaced it with a different memory.
I
And the
remember hearing
magical
about this.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it took a memory. I don't know what the memory was. I didn't make it up at the time. It's not important now because it's gone. And it replaced it with a memory of a serial killer in a different nation, of someone who murdered like my nephew or something like that. No, murdered my brother. And it meant that I had to pick one person that when I saw that person, they were the person who had done it, and I had to roleplay that. So I picked a guy called Dan in my group, and I thought, I know he's gone off for food, so he's not going to be back for a half hour. Nope, literally 10 seconds later, he stuck his head in the tent. We were doing all of this, and I just attacked him. And I don't know if you do execution at Concord, where it's 5 seconds of roleplay to execute someone. I literally beat him down, so he was on his bleed count, and then I had the axe on the back of the neck, and I was preparing to execute him. Until Esme, she came along and just smacked me in the chest with her hammer. And I was literally 1 second away from executing him. That would have been fun. So even though Alicia just said, no, we're not getting involved. Because I was literally beating the shit out of everybody who got in my way. And so I had there was a mage who I put down. I took his legs out, and yeah, so he was on the floor, he couldn't move. There were other people. I just literally beat the shit out of everybody. And people were like, yeah, it's him. Yeah, we're not getting involved. And these people weren't fighting me. I was hoping that my entire hall were going to come and panel beat me to death. I literally wanted them to put me on my bleed count to stop me, but then no one did. But then got pointed out there's a lot of new players, and they didn't know what they should and shouldn't do. So until Matt, who's also a new player, came up with the idea and said, I'm going to talk to him. Just said, something's happened, I need your help. And I was like, what's going on? And he said, someone's had their mind affected. And he go, what would you do? And of course, to me, mine's fine. So I was like, oh, he's talking about someone else. And I said, oh, I'll take them to High Guard and get them to do an exorcism or something. And that was it. So he was like, oh, okay. And he goes, I need your help with this guy. He's in High Guard. So I literally went over to High Guard with him, and someone did an exorcism on me, and that was it. It was brilliant. The roleplay was phenomenal. It was so good. The whole time my Emily just sat watching and forgot she had Repel. Oh, yeah, that would have. I mean, it would have only set me away for like 10 seconds, but it would have stopped. Yeah, it would have stopped me from executing Dan. But yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so for my prior game, ended up being the most involved I've ever been in stuff. It was like I was really saying, how was it only like on the Saturday night? Because I turned up the night before. So our summits start on the Saturday and they end on the Monday because we've got them on long weekends. So I went down on the Friday this past summit. Because I wanted to see what the vibe was like on the Friday, and I wanted to test out some like assistive technology and a couple other different things. So by the time Saturday night came around, I had received a pretty significant spiritual wound that was very difficult to roleplay out, that had me almost attack one of my in and out of game best friends. Which we pre-talked about and pre-planned, and if he had not walked away from the conversation we were having in game, when he did, I would have attacked him, and it would have turned into a whole fucking thing. It would have been amazing.
See, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can't count the amount of friends I've attacked, and I mean, my closest friend, Kit, I've monstered against him in a battle, and he ran past me thinking the entirety of his nation were running with him to stop a ritual that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he was on his own, and I was running after him, smacking him in the back. He stopped. He went down just before the ritual, and I kept on hitting him. Then he was just lying there, and you could hear him counting, doing his bleed count.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was stood over him in my orc mask, waiting for him to get up, because you can do unstoppable, which is a heroic call. So you just pick yourself up again, puts yourself onto a few hits, and then you can run. Nope, didn't have those. And I was just looking over him like, get up, come on, get up. And he didn't.
Poking him with the stick.
I was just like, oh no. So there was a lot of people running around, so I sort of dragged him to the side and sort of sat him up against a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out his nation got called back, so they'd moved like 100 feet back away from us, and he was lying there bleeding out. So I'd actually killed my friend's character.
Woof.
While monstering against him. Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Real quick for context for Concord folks, because I actually need to explain this. Monstering in Empire is what we call NPCing. It's getting up in enemy combatant gear, going and fighting. For your benefit, Steve, monstering in that particular term in Concord is when you're using your own physical strength to overpower someone else.
Yeah, killing your friends is fun.
Yeah,
that's the way that's the only way I can advertise it.
Yes, that has been the thing I've commonly heard, is like the opportunity of like, oh wait, I get to go out and be a bad guy and beat the shit out of these people for just like funsies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, you get really stuck into it. So I play an orc called Flower.
Fair enough.
Regardless of what nation I'm in. Mm-hmm. So. And I run around, and she's a lot of fun to play. I have so much fun goading the Empire and just chilling out, really. So, a little bit of torture here and there as well. Yeah, that's a laugh. Stealing stuff. It's a giggle. It is a giggle. No point taking the field if there's no risk to your life. Exactly. You need the battles have to be dangerous. Otherwise, there's no point. But you do get the odd battle though, where you go in and you think, I'm in no danger here whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
This is going so well in our favour that it just doesn't matter. So I've had a few of those, but more often than not, you're thinking, what the fuck? Yeah.
That was me on my very first Conflux. Was like, I was nervous as shit because I'm like, all right, I'm a non-com going on this fight. Well, quote unquote fight. Really, it was just meant to be like a sneak in, get a thing, get out situation. Snuck in, everything's fine. We get the thing we're meant to get, and that's when all shit broke loose. I'm like, cool, this is bad. About halfway back to the fucking portal, my brain goes, I'm gonna die here. Like, everyone else is gonna get away. I'm going to die here. And then I feel a foam sword start hitting me. And I reflexively start counting.
Yeah.
I got to 2 hits, 1 off my last hit point. And they just started, like, the guy just started walking away. Like, oh, so close to death. Because I would have been left behind. I guarantee it. We were so close to the portal, we already had people getting the tar beaten out of them. Like, nah, I would have been left and dead. It was fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I like those sorts of things where it's like, I used to, in the early days of Empire, we used to judge a battle by how many traumatic wounds you'd received. So like, there was one where Kit received 14, and all of them said you're fine at the moment, but when you get out through that gate, they all take effect. So I was walking out behind him because I literally said to him, right, you go ahead. I say, because I want to watch this. there was me on my 1 traumatic wound and him on 14, and he walked through the gate and someone came up to him and went, "Are you all right?" And he went, yeah, and then just fell backwards and landed flat on his back. And they were like, "Oh shit, what's wrong?" And he just literally put his arm up in the air straight, holding a fistful of these traumatic wound cards, and they just went. They were like, "Oh shit." So he had people literally grabbing his legs and dragging him into the hospital tent. He was in there for, I think it was like 25 minutes of surgery that they had to do on him. It was great. I was stood there. I think I had to have a ritual done on me to fix my issue. But you had people coming out, and then every now and again they're saying, "Right, he needs this done now." And people's like magicians were going in. Then a priest was going in at one point to do something. It was so funny to watch. But the highlight of that one was, though, is that someone received a traumatic wound card literally for their testicles.
Okay.
And he had to have one removed. That was literally the entire thing of it. I mean, it was funny then. I mean, considering I've now had to have one removed anyway, it's even funnier now. I love that sort of roleplay.
Yeah, had something similar happen a couple summons ago, where someone went free portaling, so like no locked in destination, just like, I need to get to this place, so I'm gonna like brute force this thing to open and go where I want it to get a thing for someone, come back, and like, you know, got it approved by the team to do it and all that jazz, and then came back, were like, "Cool, you're gonna suffer like, I think it was 5 or 10 traumatic wounds, some of them spiritual, some of them physical, you know, not traditional traumatic as it were," which was at the time insane. So, and I happened to be working in the hospital that day, so they brought him in as a note, in and out of game, "This is one of my friends." So I immediately start panicking, like, "Oh fuck, okay, cool." It's like, get this herb, do this thing, solve this one. You're a mage, cool. I'm gonna come over here and help my friend, or he's gonna fucking die. Heal him. Get silence on him now so we can do this. And then he needs to scream for 5 seconds. Like, it was fucking panic. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. I love that sort of stuff because it's fun.
Oh, it makes it makes memories.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that I always say to everybody. It's especially when people say to me, "Oh, I didn't do anything like this event," and then I start talking to them and it's like, "So what did you get up to then?" And then they start going, "Oh, I did this and I did this. Oh, I did this thing," and then they tell me like a 10-minute story about what they got up to, and it's just like, "Oh, that was awesome." That's what it's all about. LARP is about, you play the game and do that, but when you've left the field, it's always about the stories. All about the stories.
Absolutely.
And that's what I absolutely love. I love hearing people's stories about what they get up to. And especially like when you're sat down around the fire of an evening and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Right. The other thing that we definitely don't have in Concord that I actually am curious about, because it's very odd, at least from my reading it. So your religion in Empire, this is all based around it's around the virtues, right?
Yes, the way.
The way, that's what it was. So
yeah,
what exactly is this? I know it involves taking a lot of what I can only assume are hallucinogenic drugs.
No, that's a national thing. So the Calavesi within This Is the Way, Joe, indeed. The Calavesi in Wintermark, we have Goose Whisper, which is part of our archetype, as part of our brief, essentially, for us. So we like to do stuff like that. Then you get the Way, or all the virtues, Oh, what are they? So you've got ambition, courage, loyalty, prosperity. Fucking hell, this is awful. That's not even half of them.
There's like 10, right? 10 or 12?
Yeah, 9, 10, something like that. Or am I thinking of nations? Audacity should be a virtue. Yeah. See, I put out I put hate out there. I think hate should be a virtue.
Hope is not a virtue, is it?
No. It used to be.
Interesting. So you're saying the Empire lost hope?
Really did. Really did. Yeah. So loyalty, wisdom, vigilance, and then you got the way as a whole. So people who don't want to follow a specific path within the way, they can follow the way as a whole. Okay. So my character is dedicated to loyalty, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, there's ritual, there's priestly things that you can do within that. So you can dedicate people, which gives them a bit of a blessing, which means there's certain roleplay effects. Okay. That happen. Ambition, courage, loyalty, prosperity, pride, vigilance, wisdom. Thank you, Pete.
Pride is virtue. That's funny.
Yeah. So that's 7, and then you get the way on top of it. So it's 8.
And this is all powered by Liao, correct?
Yep. Yeah, all powered by Liao, which gives you the congregations as well, which is for votes and that. Yes. And it's a very, very interesting part of the game if you've got the spoons for it. I think because it's a lot of conversation, a lot of meetings, and a lot of chat. And if you haven't got the brain power to sit down and go, right, let's have this long conversation now about why hate shouldn't be a virtue, and we're like, okay, you'll be there for hours. Yeah. So you've also got the creator, which is part of it. So essentially you've got God, who is no longer interested in anything.
Yep, so I've heard.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun.
Some people may not be interested in going and having a talk to them.
Yeah, I'm very much pursuing that one. I know what happened to the first person who did it. This was years ago. They were literally given a note in their pack to say, a scroll is here for you. Read it in God and then give it back to God. And you literally weren't allowed to talk to anybody. Wow. And they went through the whole game. They played, they did everything. And then at the end of the game, they had to come and click on your character is dead. Wow. So, and what was described was at a certain point when they were walking out of Anvil, a portal opened next to their character. Someone walked out, grabbed them, dragged them through a portal, and the egregore, who's the spirit of the nation, who so feels a connection to every single person in their nation, said, I am no longer connected to that person. Wild. Literally just happened. It was amazing.
Wild.
Yeah. So cool. So very, very cool. So I'm looking at poking the creator. At some point.
I love how similar of people we are. Because so with my recent soul missing piece thing, partially came from fighting. I say fight, quote unquote fighting, a being in the astral plane. This is sort of where our sort of religious figures preside, and souls and a whole bunch of weird spooky shit we're all investigating. But this has now led down a path of so in Concord, obviously, field combat and PvP, PvE, all that jazz, full on fighting is a thing and not something I can really do. But in this astral sort of I've forgotten what the term is. I guess astral projecting into that place was all done through theater of the mind. So it was suddenly turned into, I can fight. I can do something. Fuck it, I'm gonna fight this thing. I really shouldn't. That's really dumb, but I'm gonna do it because it's gonna get results and it's gonna get us interesting information, which it has so far. that has now led me down the road of, if I can live through this summit and the church doesn't tell me I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna go fight it again, and I'm then gonna start my trek of punching a bunch of different things. Just different, like, old gods, powerful beings, hive minds. There's loads of different things I want to punch for no other reason than it would be funny. Like a drunkard in a rundown part of a city, just coming out of a fucking alleyway, punching you in the face, and then just disappearing into the night. That's all I want.
Yeah, definitely. Like Pete's just said in chat, can't believe it. God just sent the henchman out to bundle someone to the back of a van whilst they were walking down the street. That's, in honesty, that's the sort of plot I can get behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much fun. But yeah, so the religion game is very much, I say it's not really all just like that, but you are essentially browbeating until they agree with you, like the modern day church. So that's where it's taken from. I'm sorry, it's for those who do believe, that's fine. You can have your imaginary friend, but I'll be somewhere else. So an imaginary friend comes from a sketch that I saw somewhere as well. Someone referred to it as their imaginary friend. So it kind of stuck with me.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, so the religion is very interesting in Empire. I mean, it is really interesting. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that it is based on, like, be this thing, rather than like any kind of like central figure or like, you know, here's an embodiment of this thing. Like, no, here is just this concept, be this concept, strive to this concept. Like, it's a very interesting idea. I think is super rad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very much so. Very, very much so.
So I guess, so obviously with having a bigger LARP like Empire, and I've had a schmooze, like there's definitely a bunch of shit that you'll have that we don't, that we're like sort of, some things are slowly making their way in. But I know there is a pretty damn big aspect, is the fact that you'll have, what, 7, 8 nations a part of the Empire at this point?
9.
Fuck me.
So we've got Navarre, Orcs, Navarre, Imperial Orcs, Wintermark, Dawn, Brass Coast, Highguard, Urizen, Varushka, and League.
Good lord.
So that's 9, yeah.
And so what?
But we only count 8 of them because
of the Imperial Orcs.
Because Urizen, when they invented the currency, they didn't count the Orcs because they want them to be a part of the nation.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay, so what? And if I remember correctly, the League is very much like sort of pirate. They're sort of like swashbuckly pirate kind of fancy sort of vibe, if I remember correctly, or am I thinking of the Brass Coast?
That's Brass Coast.
Okay.
Yeah. The League are very much 10 and marches. I thought I said marches.
Might have.
I can't remember. Yeah, so Renaissance, Italy and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's what the League are.
Okay.
So Brass Coast are like the old I can't think. I don't want to say something wrong and stupid.
Sure.
But like traders and stuff like that. People who like go across the deserts.
Okay. So Brass Coast
the Bedouins.
They're very much like the desert nomad-ish sort of
Yes.
vibe. Okay, cool.
So yeah, but it's very, very much about boats and stuff like that and family for them.
Okay.
Orcs, Urizen, League, Marches, Brass Coast, Highguard, Navarre, Wintermark, Dawn, Varushka. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did miss out Marches.
Okay.
Moors and Berbers. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Brass Coast. Renaissance, Italy, France are League.
Yep.
Orcs are Orcs. Urizen They tried to move away from like the stereotypical like Far East, so China, Japan, places like that. But they are very magic focused. But, so the Far East is a very much an inspiration to it still. But they have tweaked the wiki fairly recently to try to move it away from that. So done the league. So the marches, Old English, basically. So during like the War of the Roses sort of type sort of thing. So they are literally farmers, people who live off the land. So when people who high elf these days, Urizen. Yeah, there's definitely more of that sort of has eked into it. So War of the Roses is the marches. That's the sort of time there. High Guard is all very much religion, like Teutonic Knights, I would say. So very old German inspired. Wood elves, literally. Live off the land, spend all their time marching around, and that's so very, very cool. Wintermark, we're definitely Vikings, but we're not Vikings. Vikings, but not Vikings. Wintermark, the Calavacia are all bog witches. The Steiner are the Vikings, not Vikings, and the Suak are more, I'd say, Eskimo, Inuit, and that, like, it's very stereotypical again. So I know that that's being looked at to be moved away from any sort of racist connotations.
Yeah, of course.
That can be had in there, because I mean, Empire itself has changed from day one. So no one involved in the game or any way, shape, or form wants to offend anybody. So it's all changing, and it does change on a fairly regular basis to make things more accessible, to make things, not upset anybody, essentially, because that's not what I want. Dawn, Arthurian Knights, essentially. And then Varushka. I love Varushka. Varushka is like the old Russian, so Baba Yaga, but mix it with The Witcher as well.
Interesting. Okay.
So very, very interesting. It's all about hospitality, and it's they have a great way of telling people to fuck off as well in Varushka. It should be easy to move Suak into a more wildly from Game of Thrones feel. Yeah, that would be. I think that's the way a lot of people have said. That would be a really good thing to do. So Varushka, if they don't want you there, they want you to piss off. They'll give you a sandwich. They'll give you something to eat and go, well, yeah, have this for the road. Go away.
Okay.
It's really, really good. So they're polite
when they're compliment kind of way.
It's great. I love it.
It's neat.
I really. Yeah. So, but it's all about stay safe. Don't go off the roads at night, because that's where the monsters are, and things like that. So they have a national ritual where they will march around their camp at night, at dusk, to stop any monsters from getting in. It's really, really good. So each nation has that as well, so that they have a national thing. So it's a holiday, or it's a celebration. So for Navarra, they have it's spring, yay! The springing has arrived. They go around at that event to literally visit every single nation to have a bit of a party with them. Yeah, it's very, very cool. But they have their hearth magic is based around the trods and constantly walking or dancing. They have the great dance. And we did one event where we recovered a territory there where the trods were dead. So they had to do the dance of blood and thorn to wake them up again. And so they went to. So we have a Reggio which is like the center of magic within Anvil, where everybody does their rituals and stuff. And they got, basically for that one, we had every single, I think we had like 300 people from Navarre around the Reggio. And people were singing, they were playing music, everybody was dancing, and it was a massive party. It was so good. It was absolutely wicked to be part of. So it was really, really good. And my character, who was the old military vet, was just like, I'm not dancing. So how can we celebrate when we've just lost our empress? And that, and he was part of her army. He was a sergeant for her. So he was just like, no, I'm not dancing. There's nothing to dance, nothing to celebrate about. And then everybody was getting so into it. And our egregore, who stood next to me, he said, I don't dance. And he goes, but we have to. He goes, because it's not about us. This is about the nation. And he goes, so if you want what's best for your nation, you'll come and dance with me. And I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I hate that you phrased it in a way that makes sense. All right, let's go.
Yeah, little prick. And and I was just like, it was more of a case of Steve doesn't like to dance.
Yeah, I get that.
Not my character. So but I did. We just sort of like danced around for a while, and there was like, you had like mead being passed around, and it was great.
Okay.
There was like a lot of fires being lit. It was wonderful. It was a great experience.
Excellent. So thanks, because you've now actually just made my translating your nations into ours actually really easy.
Because they are very similar.
Yeah, so some of them are... So Arisen is probably the weirdest one. Like, we don't really have an equivalent to it, at least not in the Concord, per se. But, like, the League is very much Loronomia, Brass Coast is very Andash, High Guard and Dawn combined tends to make... Well, more closer to Dawn, I guess, tends to make the Kingdom of Bordevar. Wintermark, very much the Vikings, but not Vikings, is very Iron Valley. Though we tend to, well, I tend to use more so the term Tall Dwarves.
Okay.
Gets across the idea. And Varushka is very much Greenwheeled. That sort of Germanic, Slavic, spooky times mixed with The Witcher. Very much that.
Yeah.
We don't really have an Urizen. Yeah. Well, that one's kind of hard to pin down where that would fit. I mean, there's foreign nations that definitely are closer to that. And same thing with the aspects scattered across, of course, that are all pinned down. Like, I don't think we have an equivalent of Navarre. Although I think elements of it are in Andash. So, but yeah, it's very cool to hear, you just describing a bunch of things that, like, I 100% get. Like, oh, yep, no, we've got that, that's neat. I love the differences, though. Like, because so we don't have hearth magic, and we don't have battle magic. We have the rituals, but those are ceremonies for us, and they are a part of our religion system.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we still got loads of, like, I love that the vibe is still there. That's awesome, because that means, because I want to go to Empire just to act like a weirdo for a weekend and then leave. Like, do something nuts and then leave and never come back.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people do. They want to do if they're coming for just a one-off, they'll turn up and do something big, just so people remember them. And there has been a few things like that. So someone tried to assassinate the Empress, which was quite fun. They got summarily executed by the Throne Guard within seconds. So that was a laugh. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff like that does happen, and it, like I say, with Empire, we are spoiled by the wiki. Absolutely spoiled by it. So
yeah, we very much recently pivoted to a new wiki that is better because it has a searching function, which is nice. But it's going through its own growing pains. It's definitely better than the previous. But there's a lot of stuff that can be updated. Like we're finally getting the Winds of the World put on the wiki now. Like editing it is a lot easier now because we've got people dedicated to it. Like it's at the point where there's a lot of infrastructure in place. It will get better. Like there's talks of having a character creator being done at some point soon, maybe. Which would be so damn good because like the character submission, we've got it going through Google Forms right now, which is not terrible. It works. But having the combined information of the wiki smashed into something like that would make things so much easier because you don't need to like have two bloody tabs open or two devices or whatever. It's just like, all right, cool, yeah, click, you're gone, done. And having a digital database as well would also be extremely handy, both for the team and us. Because so we recently had a change coming this summit, which is you'll get your character pack and then you will leave the game with it rather than handing it, because we've been handing it back. We've needed to hand it back every single time. Like you get your character bag for the game, have it until game's done, then throw it back in the tub, go home, that's it. For this game, we're starting to implement here's your character stuff, that's yours. You can give it back to us if you want us to hang on to it because you don't trust yourself to keep it. Otherwise, that's yours. Which for us is game changing because this means trade can happen a lot more at sanctioned events. We can do like the cake economics at things where it's enabled. Like for us, this has blown things open that I imagine you guys probably had from the beginning.
Packs, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we literally straight away we had loads of stuff. I mean, I have to admit, when I started, I completely forgot about a lot of stuff. So, and I had a message from PD saying, "Can you please come and collect your pack because you haven't collected it all year." So I had like 4 events worth of stuff in my very first player pack, which was lovely because I had a herb garden, so I suddenly had like 60 odd herbs on me, which meant I could sell it all and make a small fortune at the time. So that was really cool. They shouldn't have been executed for trying to assassinate the Empress. They should have been praised for their ambition. Wow, it works.
Hot take.
Yeah. I mean, this is we get. So one of the other things that religion can do is that you get
it's a muck, right?
No, it's a defense. So a defense that you can use. So a virtue defense.
Oh, okay.
So you can say, I did this because it was what was best for my nation. It was what's best for the Empire. So this person did nothing. They were working against us. They were stealing all of this stuff. The militia didn't do anything about it, so I've killed them. So I was doing it because I'm loyal to the nation. I'm proud of my nation. And all of this, and they'll say, yeah, you were doing this on virtuous grounds. So yeah, we'll let you off. So you get the virtues defense. So if you can argue that what you have done was virtuous, you will be let off, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, worked very well. It's another very interesting thing that the game does.
Neat. Right. So obviously, Concord again still very much a burgeoning game. We still only have the basic resources. So as I say, the basic 5 herbs. We've got the 8 artisan resources. We have the 3 like major, I guess you could call them like strategic resources, and crystal mana, of course. But you'll have a bunch of extra shit, like the chaos fruits is one thing. There's you'll have like loads of other weird shit. It seems like it's just there to be weird, which I kind of dig.
I love it. So they brought out this. There's a big empire-wide campaign. So we've got the Valorn, which are the greatest enemy to the nation. It's the greatest threat that we've got. which are essentially plants that are taking over. They infest into people as well, and they cause them to become husks and form their armies. So we fight against them, but we were able to push them back. So we found one of the hearts of the Valorn, and that enabled us to then have a very much people with military units were able to go on a special skirmish, essentially, in downtime. And if you did that, there was basically 3 levels of success. If we had enough people going, it meant that you could choose how far you went into the heart. So you stayed on the outside, and you received these lists of things with a 5% chance you'll receive one of the big resources, a wain of something.
Yep.
Or you could go for the next level, which means you'd lose the wain, but you'd get a chaos fruit instead. Or you could go into the heart, which means you forgo everything, but you get a vision, you get some unique bit of plot, and you'd get a relic or something of old Navarre.
Oh wow!
Which was really cool. So basically, there were people who go, "I just want resources." There were people who go, "Chaos fruit sounds fun," and there were the people who go, "I want the plot."
Oh, that's super neat.
Yeah. So in our group, we had a lot of people who went in my hall who said, "I want resources." There was me and one other who went, "I want the chaos fruit," and then there was one person who went, "I want the relic and the plot." And so we had literally everything there, and we're not even Navarre. So I took the chaos fruit, and then with that chaos fruit, you were enabled to do other things with it. So I've actually turned my now forest into a chaos fruit forest. So, and I've managed to level it up as well. So I think there's 5 of us with a level 2 chaos fruit forest in the game. So there's loads of stuff that comes through with it. But there's 18 different types of chaos fruit in the game as well, which means they all do different things. Some of it good, some of it's a bit meh, and there's 3 which kill you instantly.
And you have no idea which one was which.
Oh no, we do now. We do now.
Yeah, but at the time,
because
you'd no
at the time,
idea.
no clue. So there was a chaos fruit party that happened in Navarre, and there was 18 people in a tent. All took the chaos fruit at the same time, and they were all laughing about what was going on. But what they didn't realise was that 3 of their members were immediately on their bleed count. They were venomed, which is the equivalent. So you're down to a 30. Instead of having your full bleed count, you've now got a 30-second bleed count. And they were all talking about what was going on, and no one realised that these 3 people were dead.
That's amazing.
So 3 people died while doing all of this, which was a lot of fun.
Holy shit! Just like casually having a party in a fucking mango, and then meanwhile the guy next to you sitting in the chair is already a fucking husk.
Yeah, I think that's something that's been brought in later. That if you take it, you then become. I have heard the story of one person who actually became a Valorn husk because of taking it, and I think they had like 2 minutes, and then they get up with a weapon in hand, and they just attack everyone around them. Yep. That was great fun.
Also, yeah, Heart Tear, you're exactly right. Yep, they are plant-based Ilsevere, 100%. So one of our enemy factions is not dissimilar to Valorn, in the sense that instead of being plants, They are like mind flayers from D&D. They put a tadpole in your head. They control you. There's a hive mind. Some of them are fish people. There's a bunch of different ones. They're all named after the low level ones are named after, there's the, what is it? There's the shark. We've had the eel. We've had the barracuda. We have the marlin is losing its shit at the moment for reasons. We've had Leviathan, and I believe the other one was Charybdis. I think some of the named after some of the ancient Greek sea monster, just all named after like different aquatic based things. And yeah, they're very much, we know jack all about them. We know they like digging for things and like taking, like there's a lot of stuff around them we know nothing about, but yeah, they're very similar thing is they put a thing in your head, you become one of them, and they're spooky as shit.
Yeah, we've had that sort of plot line with, it turns out, I think it's actually a Star Trek plot that someone told me about. It looked like they had a growth on the side of their neck. And yeah, it was mind control, basically. So, yeah, there are 3 like that, Maury. So you've got, a golden apple is a bad one. The strawberry is a bad one that Jazz got. So Jazz is after my own heart. She collects all the weird stuff as well. There's 2 blueberries as well. So there's a good blueberry and a bad blueberry. So, and the bad one, it kills you. They literally just say you're on your bleed count. But I think the golden apple, the golden apple, I believe, turns you into a husk.
Okay,
as well.
Sure, that makes sense.
So a lot of fun to be had.
So
with it all,
when you implanted all the chaos for, submitted it all for your between game downtime, whatever. So does your like forest now only produce chaos fruit, or is it chaos fruit and herbs?
It's chaos fruit and I think it's iris gloaming, which is a wood.
Interesting.
So I get that on top of the chaos fruit. So, well, I get the chaos fruit on top of my normal resource.
Wow.
So, but I had to do it. I needed to get it upgraded. I needed 5 different chaos fruit, and a spring coven ritual team to do it all. And that basically used up everything. And then to do it again, I had to do the same again.
Okay.
Get it upgraded again. So a lot of people who get the chaos fruit, they get 1 chaos fruit and their normal stuff. I get 2 chaos fruit and my normal stuff.
So do you have to keep putting resources in to keep getting chaos fruit out, or is it just like once you've implanted it, like that's it? It'll yield chaos fruit. Okay, that's wild. That's so
now
cool.
Do it. So I know there's a lot of people. I'm literally waiting for the list of people with chaos fruit to start dwindling down, because it just then I'm not doing anything with mine. I literally am keeping it as that's just a thing. So I'm hoarding it until it becomes so rare, the price of it then goes through the roof. That's what I want.
Collector's items.
Yeah, very much so. So I've got a lot. I'm keeping a lot of the weird stuff to myself and away from people. So one blueberry is sweet, the other sour. I don't know the actual wording of the other one. Well, I can't remember the wording of the other one. But that's pretty much it.
God, that's so cool.
It's very fun. It is a lot of fun to go through, and I am enjoying that part of the game. So
yeah, I can't wait for the day when Concord has just oh yeah, here's this weird thing. You can just have more of it if you do this. But for now you have this weird thing. Have fun. I can't wait till we get to the point where we just get weird shit. That's like my favorite thing. I love just hearing like, oh, I went off and did this weird thing and I got this weird thing. Like, it exists and it's bizarre. It's my favorite thing. I adore that kind of thing.
Yeah, very much so. The drug game has been a lot of fun. There's now so many people involved in it. It's become quite interesting to see what everyone can get. But it's like there's the bog standard drugs that you can get that everyone buys, but then there's really expensive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 10 thrones for one. So really, really expensive, and that stuff's really, really rare. So I've been lucky enough to keep hold of it all. So when everybody wants it, I'll be one of the only people with it.
Wild.
So,
to give context for Concord folks, Thrones is our vaults. It's not a 1-for-1, but that gives you an idea for the ludicrous levels of prices.
Yeah,
God,
yeah, it's very,
so
very
cool.
expensive.
It's
It's taken me a long, long time to earn this much money. So it's been brutal, absolutely brutal. So,
excellent. Well, we've been going for just over a couple hours. I've exhausted all the main things I kind of wanted to bring up, like the sort of, the interesting differences, the cool, weird shit that just happens in Empire. Like, part of this was like, I want this to be a platform where people get to hear about cool shit in Empire, and then like, I want to go to Empire, like, because I want, like, it's cool. It's a fucking cool LARP. I love it. It's cool to read about. It's cool to see the stuff that has trickled into Concord and the stuff that like Concord has naturally done itself. Like, this is fucking cool. And also, like, I like talking to you. You're a fun person.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's been it's good. I mean, I love to hear about all of this sort of stuff, and the comparisons are there. And I know that me and Digby really want to come out and go to Concord, because I think that's the next logical step really for us. I mean, I've been playing Empire for 10 years now, since the very beginning. So, and knowing that a lot of people from Concord came out to play Empire and to speak to Matt P about the game.
So,
and
I actually have information on that.
Yeah.
So, no real communication happened with Empire. I know there were a couple people that did go out to Empire, but for the most part, this was Skittles, aka Michael Harris, looked at Empire and went, "Yeah, all right." Started putting it together, writing some stuff up. Other people saw it, and then it just started exploding.
No.
So turns out how I thought this went down didn't go down at all. It just kind of exploded, more or less on its own. Like, I think there was a little bit of communication with PD of like, looking at doing this thing, and it's like, yeah, right, cool. And that was about it.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of rumors about everything that's gone on, and I'm very much. I think I prefer the rumors, because
the rumors are always fun.
They make everything sound a lot more involved, so
mysterious, and
I think so, and it's a lot of fun. So I don't think we'll be bothering to contact PD then about, and can we take our characters there, because obviously if there's no real link, then who knows?
I mean, look, there's no link in that sense now. That doesn't mean that's not something that you can't try and make. Do it yourself, make the content.
Well, yeah, I'll have to speak to Matt P and see what he says, because obviously Empire is his baby.
Of course.
And that's so. Which realm would I join? I don't know. Obviously, if we can't do the link thing, then me and Digby would have to sit down with someone to make our characters and just go from there. We'd obviously want to do what you'd want to do and just come in and tear things up a bit. And I mean, I can see Digby causing trouble, and I do the same.
God,
really. Seemingly have people I can murder and get away with.
That would actually be fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna like assassinations and murder have like been a thing at the edge of Concord for like a little bit. I would love to see someone just go like full serial killer. That would be fucking terrifying.
I mean, I've killed 17 characters in Empire. So I know I hold the record there. Excommunicated day one.
Yeah, kicked out of the Concord day one.
Yes, I mean that's what would happen. That's what would happen. I did a lot of mine in.
To be fair though, Hart, like you'd have to do you'd have to do some really outrageous shit to be excommunicated day one. Like really, really outrageous. Which again, it's you, so you're at least a 75% chance that it'll happen, and that's baseline.
Yeah. It'll, as long as, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to come along and we'd want to have fun. We'd want to enjoy the game, but we're not there to make things explode. To an extent. As long as everybody is enjoying themselves, that's it. I mean, I wouldn't want to turn up and have people go, so a minute, these people turned up, we're only going to play once, and they killed 6 characters. It's like, that's kind of...
It's a bit... no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's you don't want to do that.
Yeah, cause chaos within... out of character.
Organised chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, if I'm there and someone is causing issues and they're pissing me off to that extent in character, then yeah, I've got no issues with following that person back to their tent, jobbing them, opening up their tent, pushing them back inside, and then closing the tent and leaving them there. Because that shit's happened. So I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on like that. So the world's a dangerous place. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
Jorn killed an Onyx spy and lost his eye over it being a Concordian citizen.
Yeah, there was weird circumstances with that one. That's why he and someone else only lost eyes and, not their lives. Well, yeah, still a bit of a hot button issue on that one. But look, that was in a weird situation. But like, no, if you really want to cause chaos and just go, this person is being a problem. Stab, and goodbye. No?
Yeah, I mean that does happen. That is that would be a thing in reality, and I mean, doing it in battles is generally the easiest way of killing someone, because you can just go, no, well, definitely wasn't me. It was definitely the enemy who stabbed him 17 times in the back.
Yes, it was definitely the enemy that broke both their legs from behind and then just chose not to save them. Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
that's literally it. And the worst thing you can do is if someone you don't like lying down, bleeding out, you can just go and sit next to them and just say, I'm here just to make sure that you die. I'm going to be the last thing you see before you die. And just sit there with them.
Yep.
So, because I've done that in character as Mac. So this person who got Mac's brother killed, I literally sat next to her as she was bleeding out, and I said to her, I'm going to be the last, but you killed my brother, so I'm going to be the last thing you see before you die.
God, it's brutal.
And she was just there, and it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal, because she was just staring at me, and I was just like, right, I'm searching you, because, I mean, being a guy and her being a girl, I wasn't going to touch her.
Of course.
So I just said, so I'm searching you, have you got anything on you? And she was just like, well, I've got these ribbons. And I was like, yeah, I'll have those. I robbed her as well. And she was just like, I've got these herbs. So I was like, yeah, I'll have those. So she kind of got a bit of money as well. I was like, I'll have that. And then I said to her, right, out of character, I said, is there anything that I could take that your group will recognise immediately? And they won't be happy. And she was just like, yeah, my necklace. And I was just like, do you mind if I borrow it and I'll bring it back to you at the end of the event. She just said, that's fine. She goes, to be honest, I'm going to get rid of it now my character's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, you've still got like a minute left of your bleed out. And she was just like, we were looking as the armies are now going through the gate and leaving. And I was just like, they're not coming back. I said, even if someone sprinted, I said, they're probably not getting here in time. So she gave me a necklace. It was like a big wooden feather. And she said, she goes, I was going to get rid of it anyway. She goes, so it would be interesting. So I don't mind how you get rid of it. She goes, but I don't want it back. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's neat.
I walked out wearing it, and her group was stood there saying, have you seen her? So I was like, no. She goes, you're wearing her feather. I was just like, no idea what you're talking about. And I walked off. And I walked away, and they came over to me when I was at our fire. The 2 feet fight, and they just said, so you've got a necklace, we think you killed her. And I was just like, oh, okay. And they said, so we're going to do a whispers through the black gate on her. They just said, who killed you? And she just said, she goes, the Druge, the orcs we were fighting, they killed me. And they're like, right, okay. And they said, was anybody else there with you? And you could see her like playing it all over in her mind, because the way it was described was everybody knew she got my brother killed in game, and people were coming up to me when I timed in at the event, going, everybody is watching what you're going to do. And I was just like, okay. So we timed in. I had all my armor on, all my weapons with me, and I walked over to her, and everybody was stood there with bows, spears, shields, everything to try to stop me. And I walked over, I gave her a hug, and I went, I don't blame you. I said, I would have killed him myself at one point. And she was just like, right. And I just said, but just know this, the 2 feet, don't forget. And that was it.
God, that's
so she just
awesome.
Said, she said, yeah, Mac was there when I died. And it's like, so you didn't pick her up then? It's like, no, why would I want to? So she got my brother killed. And I took the necklace off while they were all there, and I chucked it in the fire.
Oh!
And they were just like, holy fuck. Like, they drew their swords.
Shit.
They drew their swords and everything. And I was just like, you're around my fire. And like the 2 feet were all there, and other Navarre were watching. They all drew their weapons and surrounded them. And I was just like, leave, or you're dead.
God, that's
That's
cool.
It. And they're like, right. And I say, but bear in mind, 2 feet, don't forget. One of the people who threatened me, I killed his character as well. Because I didn't forget it. It was great. It was memorable. It was a memorable death.
That's awesome. That's fucking like the best kind of things, as I'm sure you'll agree, is when you get the other people like sort of like I almost want to call it like the inner circle of like, all right, this thing is going to happen for these reasons, like, and kind of floating in a matter of ways, floating the question by, are you down to elevate this? And when you get the thumbs up, it's like, oh, you're going to make someone's game and it's going to be amazing. Yeah,
we had I had people messaging me to say, we want to plan out what's going to happen. And I was saying, no. I said, I can't plan it. I said, because I don't want that. I say, all I want to know is what she is comfortable with and what she's not comfortable with. And they were just like, she doesn't want to be shouted at. She goes, you're a lot taller than her. She doesn't feel intimidated. And I was just like, right. So basically, they don't want any sort of confrontation at all. And they went, no. I was just like, okay, fine. I'll have a think then, and then I'll do something. And I said, but I promise you I won't do any of those things. So, funny enough, I was having a chat with my friend's wife, and I was just like, I just don't know what to do. And she just said, oh, go and give her a hug. I say, it will freak the fuck out of everybody. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So that's what I did.
Yeah, just
and everyone's just like we don't know how to respond.
The calm fury of like, no, I'm going to be pleasant to you. I'm going to smile to you to your face. And when the time comes, I'm still going to be smiling as you bleed and die. I'm not going to do anything to you.
Yeah, that was literally it.
Oh, I love that.
He said, stop OC planning icy stuff, peoples. Does that happen with Concord?
Yes, it's going to happen in any LARP. And for sometimes you need to do some things carefully, because you don't want it to go off the wrong way. You don't want to end up like it being very uncomfortable for players. So yeah, like sometimes you're going to do that kind of thing. We try not to do the bad kind of that, of like, we're going to out of game pre-decide a bunch of shit and then just enact it in game with no conversation or interaction. That sometimes happens in the negative sense, but good and bad in every batch, as it were.
I mean, I agree with you not planning. I don't like to do that because I think LARP has to be spontaneous. I do agree with, I mean, if they hadn't come up to me and said she's not comfortable with confrontation, and it's like I've had a few people come up to me and say, when I'm screaming and shouting, they say you are intimidating. I mean, I'm 5'10", 5'11", but I'm quite broad. And obviously, like with the military background and stuff like that, it's a demeanor thing. So it's like there are other people who in the field. It's like with Pete and Dolly in chat. I mean, these people know. It's just a feeling, I think, that you give off and people get. And she just said she is uncomfortable with you doing this because they've seen me scream and shout at people before. And I think it's just a look. It's like even Helen has said to me, it's like when I've told Lily off, my daughter, for doing stupid shit, it's just like that you have a look about you. So it's just a thing. So I can understand it from that perspective of just saying, please don't do this. They'll find it intimidating.
Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe we stick to. Yeah, is like talk to them beforehand out of character, of like checking like, I'm gonna do something vaguely in this thing. Are you like, what should I avoid? You'll generally get the conversation of like this or this. It's like, all right, cool, fine. And then you still go in, but like planning out each individual little beat and line of the interaction, like generally that does not happen. But the vibe of like, avoid this X stuff and otherwise go nuts, there tends to do that happens a decent amount, because you don't want to, as you don't want to unnecessarily and unfairly freak people out player wise when that's something that can be avoided, whether you seek that out yourself or someone seeks you out for to check with that sort of thing. And obviously checking in after is a thing to do as well. We tend to do that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, me and the player who I just watched die, me and her get on quite well. She stopped playing Empire now because there was a lot of stuff that went on, and she's basically it's left a bad taste in her mouth. But we checked on. I checked on her as she was like after she was dead, and I was just like, "Are you all right?" I mean, when she actually finished her bleed, she was fine. Finished bleed count. She was bawling her eyes out. So I was sat with her for a good 10 minutes. We were just sat there, and the ref came over and said, "Is everything all right?" And I was just like, "Yeah." I said, "She's dead." I said, "She just needs a bit of space." And it was just like, "Okay." She goes, "Are you alive?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm alive." It's like, I'll tell refs that you're coming through, but so you don't get the traumatic wound card from like coming through a portal after it's closed. And I was just like, "Oh no! Please make sure I get one of those, because that's going to be great fun." I just sat with her and we had a hug and she was fine.
Yep.
And I still, like, when I did see her, it was just sort of like, we have little nods and stuff like that. One of my favourite things at Empire to do is when I walk around and I see people I know out of character, but don't know them in character, we sort of give each other a bit of a low five as you walk past to say hello. So you don't acknowledge each other, it's just a little low five, walk past, and it's really, really good. So apparently I have a look in my eyes in the battlefield. We all do, mate. We all do.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed myself just oddly of like, no, when I want to get really fired up and I get like raise my voice, I can, without meaning to, I can make a room shudder in like somewhat fear, or just like the level of energy I kind of put off tends to put people off, which again I try not to do. I try to be just a very chill person a lot of the time, but like when I need to turn on the proverbial drill sergeant mode, like I turn that shit on.
One of the other things I try to do when I'm shouting at someone is I'll try to come up with an insult so stupid that people just sort of like,
what? That's a good idea. I actually really like that.
Yeah, and it's quite good. So it's like my favourite insult that I've ever heard someone come up with, and I try to use that as a way of making people just like chuckle a little bit, is I will say to people, your mum should have swallowed you. And it's one of my favourite things to ever hear. And it's just like a really interesting moment, and people just sort of like, they're going, you don't, what? It just like breaks everything.
God, I'm going to use that the next time I get the chance. It's like,
it's wonderful.
Like, you're pissing me off so much, you should go play poker with a fish. Just something very bizarre and left field.
It's really, really fun. It's a lot of fun, but... So I believe checking up on people, so like as Jazz has said, it can trigger certain people's PTSD. So it's good to check in to stop yourself getting lashed out at too. If I'm ever going ham at someone, if I don't know them, I will always check. So we had an incident at the beginning of the year, funnily enough, with someone in another hall, and he let his keen get hold of him. So something was being planned, I see, and he went ahead and did it on his own. And everybody sort of stopped. I immediately said, I'm not going to get involved in this. I'm the nuclear option of our group. So you can all talk it out. And he literally avoided me all event. Because he was worried about what I was going to do. I wasn't involved. I went to his hall. I went to a wedding at his hall. And I gave a gift and I did loads of stuff. And he was just like, I'm avoiding him like the plague. He came up to me and he said, can we have a chat? Because he was worried that I was angry at him OC. It's just like, no, mate. It's like, no, completely the opposite. I said, this is fun. I said, everybody involved has literally worked out what's going to happen. We'll be angry, we'll do this. The next event, the two people in charge of the groups will sit down, they'll decide your punishment, and then you've got a load of roleplay for a year. So we've essentially given you a year's worth of free game.
Neat.
It was a lot of fun. Then unfortunately, I mean, Liam, he's not watching, I don't think, but I adore Liam. I've got so much time for the lad, and he is so passionate and so keen about the game. And he comes up with loads of good ideas, but unfortunately he broke his arm really badly. He hasn't been back to Empire since, because it's not been safe for him to do so. So he's going to be back at E1 next year. But if he does listen to this, then he gave both halls. He created game for like 30 people.
Sick.
With doing that, he did so well. Such a good job with it. He really, really did, and he should be very proud of what he's done. I mean, if he didn't do it, there would have been a lot of game created still, because the groups, they would have all worked together and done their thing. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's still ongoing plot.
Of course.
So he did a great job, but he's just created game in a different way now. So yeah, but so fair play to him, and I think he was also interested in coming to Concord as well. So hopefully we'll be able to drag him out to Australia, and he'll create shit for you lot as well, because that seems to be what he's really good at. So
yeah, hopefully it's creating shit whilst we don't have a massive national emergency like I said, 40 to 50,000 power worth of armies bearing it down upon one region. Yep.
Elevating game for others is always a pleasure. Really is hard. I couldn't agree more. That's all I ever do in game. I want to create game for people, and I want to play game to as many people as I can. So it's why last event, when people were saying they're not involved in plot, I literally spent Saturday finding plot, making plot, and getting involved in as much as I can. So on the Sunday, when we had like our little debrief as a hall, our hall said, "We're doing I'm doing this, I'm doing this," and they went, "And Cal over there is involved in literally everything going on in the nation at the moment." And so there are OC/IC things going on that I can't talk about again, but it's literally so I can dump every single piece of plot onto my hall and go, "You enjoy dealing with that shit now. I'm not." So, but yeah,
that's
a lot
awesome.
of fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Steve, for going to this near 2.5 or roughly 2.5 hour extravaganza. This is awesome. Always.
How long do your streams normally last then?
Oh, back in the old days, about 4 or 5 hours.
Nice.
So I've gotten much better at like slimming shit down, like pay attention. Like if it's something I think is going to be big, like when we get our wins, I'll break it up into multiple things that way. Yeah, because like me and a couple buddies covered the wins of the world for the last summit gone, the winter summit. And we ended up having an almost 7-hour long stream, just going over every single thing in it, talking about it, implications and details, like admiring it in full. And it was 7 hours.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a big boy, but it was a good time.
We wouldn't be able to do that.
No, I wouldn't expect.
Empire, because
we like 10 times bigger than ours, so...
Well, it's not just that, but I have a very strict find out in play rule.
Yeah.
So this is all ongoing plot, so I don't really enjoy talking about that, because I don't want it to affect people's game. If someone doesn't know about it in game, then they don't know about it. So whereas if I suddenly go through every single piece that's going on just to say this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, then yeah, it's not really something that I could.
It's important to know everything in the Wings of the World thing is considered like this is open information that anyone could more or less easily get access to. Like this is meant to be like the newspaper. So like super secret stuff does not get brought up in this unless it becomes public knowledge. So they're very careful. Like there's a lot of little secret shit happening all throughout the game that is rarely, if ever, in the Winds of the World. So they're very careful about that, which is very cool because I like hearing snippets of little secret things that don't pop up in the Winds, or like you don't really hear anything else, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, there's people are talking about this weird thing that's just happening somewhere. It's wild. I love that. I love the balance of like open stuff and closed. It's cool. I love it.
Those sorts of things are great. I love it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that one. I'm gonna call this one done. I'm very happy with how this has went. How this has gone. Fuck, I am tired and I need to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to go to bed.
I really do.
You need to go to bed. My daughter's going to be home from school in about an hour. And I've had an old friend who I've not seen for a while, actually. He's He's just heading to the pub over the road, and we're going to meet up for a quick pint.
Lovely. Excellent.
So, yeah, so it's all happened at the perfect time.
Love that. Always the best stuff. So yeah, thank you all for that have come and checked us out, for the Concord folks that have, and especially for the folks on the other side of the pond that have come on over. Thank you very much for the follows. Thank you for the raid at the beginning. Really do appreciate that. You can find all the links to my stuff on the about section of the channel I'm streaming from right now. Mainly my own personal Discord, which is like everything I do, bare bones and raggedy as fuck, because that's the aesthetic I get down with. Along with the YouTube channel there as well. All the previous episodes except one of them. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that. They're all there. A variety of different topics and things that have been talked about. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy this happened. And this is much more of a chill time. This is great. I really, really did enjoy this.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been really, really good. It's unfortunately, Dolly, well, it depends what time I'm back for the pub. But I need to be back before Lily gets home, obviously. So I'm only having one pint, and that because Mark's driving, so he can't really drink. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a long time coming.
Indeed.
And then hopefully I'll have a chat with Digby, and we'll get something sorted to get our character creation done if needs be. To be honest, that'll probably just be a lot easier.
Sure.
We'll just make new characters and come along and have fun.
Absolutely.
And that's so. Yeah, no, it's been really good. So yeah, thank you to anybody who's followed my links to get here and followed and stuff like that. So Luke's a great guy, and follow everything he's got. Okay, fine. Luke's a bit of a cunt, but you should really follow his stuff.
Yeah, that's the truth.
His stuff's all right, I guess.
It's average. It's kind of shit. Not gonna lie.
If you can tolerate his accent, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's lucky I'm still here, to be honest. It's
No,
this has been a lot of fun.
Hey,
I've really enjoyed
British
it.
blood, so half of this is your fault.
Wow, yeah. It's I've really enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun. I like just chilling and chatting shit. So.
Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna hit the big red button that says stop. So y'all go have a good day, good night, whatever. Stay safe. Please make good decisions as best as you're able. For the Concord folks, I will see you on the weekend. For the rest of you, your existence is noted, and have a good time for whatever the fuck you're doing. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.